Example, if you in high school were known for sleeping around and you were friends with Joe, if you tried to start anything with him, he'd call you out in front of everyone and say, well, I know who you slept with X, Y, and Z. And of course the ladies would be like, oh, stop it, Joe, stop. And everybody would laugh or whatever. Joe could get away with that because he was blunt, has been since the beginning. And so I'm like, okay, he's friends with me. Weird, but alright. The more we became friends, the more he started joking, laughing, blah, blah, blah. The more like, oh yeah, this guy's actually really cool. Not that I didn't like him before, but like, oh yeah, this is more than, oh, you don't want my homework anymore. Or, oh, this isn't you just talking to me in class. We're talking at lunch. We're hanging out as friends. And so one day, this girl comes up. I'm a very quiet girl when I'm at school, right? I don't do much trouble. I don't cause much issues. That's not me. And so, girl comes up, and she's like, you know, Joe, blah, blah, blah. She's flirting with him. He knows she's flirting with him, and he doesn't really like her that way. And then, as we're sitting there, unprompted, because I'm just sitting here being quiet, because I'm not going to interrupt these friends' conversation, the girl turns and looks at me and goes, oh, so who's this D word? I don't cuss. I've never cussed. Joe knew that because Joe got a little bit of my case for not cussing from time to time. And before I could open my mouth and say anything, I don't even know what I would have said because that was so unprompted, because I didn't cause issues. Joe said, you're not going to speak to her that way. And both me and the girl looked at Joe. And Joe did not look at me. He looked at the girl. He said, you're not going to speak to her that way. You can speak to anyone else that way, but you don't call Kitra that. You don't talk to her that way, especially not in front of me. And the girl goes, what, do you like her or something? And Joe says, no, I respect her more than I do you. You could probably gather where I started liking Joe and maybe why. And this is essentially a thing that he did time to time. Not that I had any issues with people, it's just he would occasionally defend my name and I'd defend his if it ever came to that, because I did. One day, as our friendship continued on, and I definitely liked him at this point, I'm not gonna lie, Joe looks at me and he's like, hey, can you help me with homework, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, Joe, you know I don't do that, I'm only going to teach you. And he went, you know, you don't have to be such a B word. This is months later. And I go, no. The mood changed. I'm like, no, you know I haven't done anything wrong. I was not being a jerk to you. I was not doing anything against you. You know for a fact it was just my homework. You don't call me that. And he's like, I was just joking. I'm like, yeah, but you don't call me that. I don't do it. You can joke with anyone else, as he said before, but you're not going to joke with me like that. And he looked at me up and down. I'm like, this is it. This is where our friendship ends. And he just goes, okay. Never did it again. So you're probably wondering, Kitra, what happened to you and Joe? Is this like a fated to be? No. Joe's gay now. And that's the end of the story. Nothing much came of it. Also, I post on YouTube. Watch and subscribe or whatever.